Lasse, Frida, amazing film. Welcome to Beyond Cinema Studio. We met last night. I got to see the movie after we met, and I was totally blown away. What an incredible piece of work. How did you guys get into this film?
Well, we read about the park in a Danish newspaper years ago, and then we went there to see what it was, and it was actually not like in the article described it. So we met something that was very different than we thought, and then we made a film that was actually about the characters in the park instead of the park as a place itself. That was the idea from the beginning. Yeah.
Why did you choose to approach it that way?
Because what was described in this article was really that there was a community by itself. They had shops and all this little community inside or outside community.
Like a parallel society.
And it was nothing like that at all. They had jobs. They were, of course, struggling with a lot of things, and not really a lot was going on. But we went there and we spent a week without camera, just listening to the therapy session, talking to people. And there was stories everywhere.
I think also for us it was the fact that we met something that we had never seen described in mainstream media, and we weren't aware of it. For us it was like, wait, what is there's actually something more to it than what we've seen, and since we felt that way, we felt the need to share that with other people.
Because where are you guys from? You're not Americans.
No.
I was born and raised in Sweden, but based in Copenhagen.
Yeah, I'm Danish.
So I mean, we read millions of stories every day, every year. You know, interesting stories. Why this one? What drew you to this? Why did you have to make this film?
I think we were just interested in this parallel community really from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then when you find out there is a story that hasn't been told and it's so complex and difficult, I mean, it got us interested. So
we can be honest and say that we weren't expecting this.
Yeah.
Actually, the starting point was just wanting to work together because we're married. And Lasse had said at one point he couldn't work with partners. I had to prove him wrong, you know. And that's how it started. But then it as soon as we got to the park, it turned into something much bigger and very personal.
Mm-hmm.
But it started out as just something that should be over and done with within 6 months and made for no money. Well, it actually ended up being made for almost no money, but yeah.
What was the thing when you were there that you said, this must be told? Because there's all kinds of amazing stories, but for each of you, what was the personal story or the personal moment that told you that you have to make this film?
It comes, I think it's several points during the process that did that. I mean, when we came back with the first material, we really wanted to make the film, but we got into so much trouble. No one wanted to finance it. It took years and years, and in the end, we stopped.
Gave up.
We gave up.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to make a new film, but this one kept coming up, and there was nothing like it. So we said, okay, we'll just go off and do it without money. So.
Was there a moment? I think one of the most compelling characters in the film is the woman, and she tells you guys a story that she had never told anybody before. How did you get that kind of access, that kind of trust?
Yeah, but that was about. They are not ever met with people. Never meet them with this approach of I just want to listen to you, and that we found that out pretty soon when we were there. And that I mean, it wasn't a tactic from our side. That was just our approach. But it was very helping in the making of the film. Because we just allowed them to tell their story, and they had this built-up need, you know, because they were not. I mean, of course, they talk in therapy and stuff, but now they felt that someone from the outside is actually coming to listen. So I think that was it. I mean, it was just about listening, and then they had things to tell. Of course, there were some people who were suspicious and didn't want, but we just took it slow, and as Lasse mentioned, it took us 4 years, so they knew that we were actually very dedicated and we didn't have a hidden agenda or anything. So that was just I guess it was just as like some kind of respect they opened up.
How long did you shoot? Did you go back twice, 3 times?
We were there the first time and we shot for a week for the pilot for funding, and then we came back and we had no money, so we knew we had one shot, we couldn't come back, and we were there for 23 days shooting, like every day, all day, and so that's where we made when we made the film.
And that's almost exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
So we tried 3 years to finance it and we couldn't, so it was just like, okay, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Now, this is a community that has a lot of legal issues around it and things like that. Were there problems like that? Like, did you have to sign waivers and disclosures or government issues or anything like that?
No, that's actually, there's a funny story because we're using these mugshots in the end of the film. And since it's the States, I was just like, we have to have paper and everything, we're not gonna be sued. And then I tried to, I called them up and they were just said, no, but you can use them. The park said they can use them. And I called the federal, the government or whatever. And they said, this is public, so anyone can use it. So it's not like, they're not protected in that sense that you have to have, of course we had to have the park's allowance to film there, but we got that. But apart from that, it's just public registry. So we can use whatever.
Yeah, but we can say that we wanted to film like when they were at school or at jobs, but that the companies wouldn't allow us because they were scared of being like in the film.
But that wasn't because of the sex offender situation. That was just, they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
The store that we were gonna film in.
Will Heffernan's job we
couldn't
go
that's
to,
true.
the school we couldn't go to.
Okay, yes, yeah. It's my bad memory. Yeah.
Amazing. So in making the film, were there things that you recorded or happened and you didn't record that you wish had gotten into the film? Are there any?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I mean,
not that I know of.
No, I don't remember we took anything out that we really wanted in the film. We wanted it to be balanced. That was what we were going for, and so yeah.
There was a big panel here at Sundance about the difference between journalism and cinema in documentaries, and one of the things that really moved me about your film was that there were times that I empathized with these sex offenders, and I sort of could put myself in their shoes, and I felt for them because of their horrible upbringing. Yeah. And then there were times where I was sort of revolted by what they said. I thought that was extremely skillfully done. Was that the approach? Is that something that developed later in editing? Like, how did you come up with this beautiful way of sort of balancing where you empathize at the same time?
Yeah, I think that was very much trying to make the film that was just as accurate and portray of what we actually saw. So when you say you feel like that, we're extremely happy because we felt like that when we were in the park, and that was what we were trying to put in the film, because we didn't know where to put our emotions either. We couldn't put them in one place. We talked about this before. I empathized, I was sad, I cared for them, I was angry with them. I mean, it is complex, and that's what we're trying to picture. So it's supposed to be like that, yes, it was.
Have you screened it in the park?
Yes,
people seen
yeah, we
it?
just did it before getting here.
How was that?
That was, it was good. It was good. They liked it, but the funny thing is that they said the same things that everyone else says, like, and that they really
they're touched and it opened up to some stuff. And there was one guy coming up to Tracy afterwards, thanking her because she had told his story that he never dared to tell. So I think it seemed like it could be some healing for them as well, watching the film, hopefully. So it's, yeah.
I heard actually one of the screenings that you had here, there was a person who stood up.
Yeah, there was a sex offender outing himself.
Tell me.
That was very powerful.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, but there was a policewoman who asked about the park. She thought it was interesting with the park. And he stood up and told everybody in the cinema that he was sex offender and that it was...
He used to live in a park like this, and he didn't like them. He didn't think it was
a good idea. And
that was pretty amazing. I mean, we can't know for sure that he did it because of the film, but it felt like he it opened up
It opened up,
to
yeah.
the debate, and that was really, really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish you guys all the best. I wish we could talk more. Amazing film. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Pleasure.
you.
Thank you.